yesterday, people were losing their minds, predicting Shedeur was going 21. Saying that the NFL is not looking for somebody like Shedeur, yada yada yada. And several people, beside myself, we spoke on this yesterday, took offense to it, right? In addition to myself, Coach Prime has something to say. So one of the first clips in this video is actually, what Coach Prime said. I'm gonna have to read it on my phone. I don't know if y'all can see it, but or I might be able to see it. Coach Prime said, "Today everyone wants attention and everyone has an opinion. When did they come to the conclusion that their opinion mattered? Their opinion ain't based on knowledge of subject or experience. It derives from their shortcomings. Don't allow them to matter to you at all." Now, I feel like that was a message from father to son. Yesterday, as I was going into my fridge to get something to eat after we had our podcast, I said to myself, I hope Shedeur doesn't let all this talk get to him, because it was a lot yesterday. And I want y'all to understand something. Now, we already talked about the changes that are coming and, the way the majority will look going forward when it comes to QBs. So understand this. All of this commentary that was taking place yesterday, dropping Shedeur down to number 21, I told y'all, this guy was like, I am not a Prime fan, but his son will not be there after the Raiders because he's a good quarterback. In other words, I'm objective enough to say I don't like his dad, but he's a good quarterback. I want y'all to understand those stories that were written, the podcasts that were recorded and dispersed yesterday, and this guy using the ESPN platform to use this dog whistle. And y'all know what a dog whistle is about. That's all coordinated. That was a collaborative effect. That was a collaborative event. Like, there were people probably with text chains. Hey, we're going to put this out here by Shedeur, this, that, and the other. We're going to either humble him or, we don't think he should go first. Whatever their reasoning was for it is not my concern. But I know they collaborated. Because today, none of it. And if they truly felt that way independently, they would still be talking about it. So I felt like when Coach Prime issued his comment, and Bucky had something to say too, that these analysts are trying to hurt Shedeur draft stock. Now, see, that opens up another can of worms right there. So as an analyst, you're just supposed to report the facts, and if you want to give your opinion, but should it be damaging to another person? No. So somebody came in my comment section, and I think James was one of the comments that saw what this other person wrote. They said, well, because I posted Coach Prime's comment on my post, and it was like, well, if comments aren't good or whatever, if people shouldn't be giving a comment, they were like, why are you giving yours? I said, you do understand that context matters. Context matters. If you're giving a good opinion and you're uplifting someone, you're encouraging someone, or you're defending someone, or you're standing up for someone, that's what you're supposed to do. But by no means are you supposed to wield your opinion as a sword to damage another individual and conspire with others to make sure y'all's collective voice is heard because you don't like the changes that's coming to the NFL, or because you don't like this person because he's young, black, wealthy, and educated, or because you got up on the wrong side of the bed. Who cares the rationale? There is none. That's irrational. And to try to make a collective voice to damage a football player's stock is a problem. And it signals that this is not about football anymore. So that's why I posted it. That's why I issued my opinion. So for the person that asked, there you go. So, essentially, Bucky has something to say. Coach Prime has something to say. I feel like Coach Prime's message was to a son, like, don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. And honestly, it really doesn't matter which son it was for, because we know Shiloh was getting dragged as well. But yesterday, it was like an onslaught of hatred towards Shedeur. So today, it was none of it. I feel like people are trying to backpedal a little bit. And one story that I saw basically was like, well, since Shedeur and Cam aren't going to be there, In other words, it's like somebody called a meeting and said, okay, look, guys, it's like they had a team meeting somewhere. And they were like, look, guys, it's not uncommon for players not to be at the combine. The combine is not even mandatory. So we need to lay off of these damaging takes to try to punish someone because they're not going to throw at the combine. That's perfectly fine. If you go back and look at the record of who did and who didn't, then this makes us look as if we're trying to harm someone. I'm pretty sure that happened. I'm pretty sure it did. Because today's tone is totally different. Well, with Shedeur and Cam not throwing, that gives Jackson Dart time. Now, again, I don't know if Cam is throwing or not, but somebody thinks that the floor belongs to Jackson Dart. I'm like, hello, Jalen Milroe, Quinn Ewers, Kyle McCord. Why y'all not talking about them? Why not? And you think they will be talking about Jalen Milroe because he's an SEC quarterback, and we know how much they love the SEC. But no, with Cam and Shedeur out the way, they're like, ooh, more time for Jackson Dart to be seen. I'm like, he was in the Senior Bowl. Like, where was he not seen? So I feel like the other guys are getting snubbed. So this leads me to my part that I want to talk about. Players that could benefit from the combine. Because we know, I said yesterday, for people like Shedeur, who's elite, Jaden Daniels, obviously elite, Marvin Harrison Jr., elite, Brock Bowers, same thing, elite. They didn't need the combine. We said that time, as a podcast, we agreed that time could have went to some other players. Some of those invites could have just gone to 5 players that were truly deserving. That's how I feel. And I think we talked about that yesterday on the podcast.